to garner that point if he happens to crash out. So, see if Sam can verify that for me. And we do have Nick Van Gelder with us in the booth. Nick, man, not a good day for you at all.
No, certainly not. Yeah, unfortunately, I can clarify what happened. I disconnected at the start on the formation lap, and after I came back, my game was completely glitched, so I had a really low frame rate for some reason. And I was trying to like rejoin the game, and I closed my application, rejoined the session again, and I tried lots of different things, and the frame rate just kept being really low, and it was almost unplayable. And I tried to actually do the race after the safety car restart, and I tried to, you know, salvage some points and drive as best as I could with the frame rate. But yeah, at some point I got past Jan, and I don't even know what happened, but it was so difficult to control the car and to have spatial awareness, because the frame rate was so low that I could barely control the car, and I could barely know where everybody was. And even the force feedback was glitched as well, so it's a really weird glitch, because I don't think it was my connection, it was really the game being weird. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's yeah, hopefully I haven't caused too many problems for the other guys out there.
Well, I can definitely attest to the frame rate issue a couple of times. And really, you disconnected at the beginning of the formation lap, and I think the problem actually started in qualifying, because your last hot lap, there was we were riding along with you, and 1 minute you were going through a corner, and the next minute your car was upside down. So
yeah, I actually crashed there. Yeah, on the exit of the chicane.
We didn't get to see the transformation between that. It was just one you were there, the next time you were upside down. So I believe that actually started in qualifying for you. So
yeah, it's really weird because
we'll talk more about that in a minute, because the safety car is getting ready to head in, and Cameron Weston Edwards has got his work cut out for him. So unfortunately for Cam, he had such a good lead built up under the green flag conditions until you had your incident. Cam's got 3 very fast drivers stuck behind him, and he's doing the Lewis Hamilton right now. He's going very slow. Tries to make the jump, and he gets a good start heading out onto the front stretch, but Dennis Carences is on the fresh set of softs, and here he comes down the front stretch. He's got the slipstream. He doesn't have any DRS yet, and these two are way out in front of the pack.
Yeah, they are. Already 1.2 seconds to Max Mulder in 3rd place. And Dennis Carences just looking to maybe attack Cameron into turn 3 is not quite close enough, as Colin Hitchens picks up a 3-second penalty as well.
And Cameron Weston Edwards still looking for that maiden SRL F1 win. Not able to break away here, and Dennis Carences is all over the back of him. Max Mulder's making life difficult for Jensen Randall, and that's not what Jensen wants to deal with right now. Jensen trying to make up that points gap with Andrea Lutella out for this race. And Randall's to the inside, trying to get to the inside of Mulder, and he's going to get that spot.
Just block pass. Well done by Jensen Randall, and this is a golden chance really for Cameron Weston Edwards to win his maiden SRL race, and we know that Cameron is a very good defender, so it's going to be interesting to see if Dennis Carences can find a way past.
And Dion Stahl picks up the 4th spot from Max Mulder, so Mulder struggling a little bit. We saw Dennis Carences just pick up a 3-second time penalty, so things are heating up between these two drivers. Both of them have a 3-second time penalty to my knowledge. And obviously, and he gets a little bit of the chrome horn from Dennis Carences. And as you said, Edwards is a very aggressive defender.
Carences to the outside.
It's a drag race down the front stretch. This is unbelievable.
And Jensen is catching up as well, just at the fastest lap. He is going to be one to maybe keep an eye on as well towards the end.
Jensen, I think, is going to be the party pooper in all of this, because he is coming. He is there. He made up a huge gob of time going through the first couple of corners there.
Yeah, he did, and he showed in qualifying as well that he is really quick with I think he did a 19.1 or something in qualifying. So
did a 19.6. He was
96,
about half a second over your time.
Yeah.
And he's been running fast lap after fast lap. It doesn't seem to matter what tires he's had on his car. He's been running fast lap after fast lap. And he's basically there. He's a part of this battle now. That's a 3-car battle. And for what it's worth, Dion Stahl's not entirely out of this picture. He's kind of lurking in the background there. So any type of on-track altercation between these 3 guys, Dion Stahl can find himself sitting in the catbird seat to maybe snatch a podium away from one of these drivers.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, it's only about half a second separating the top three, and if these two battle it out too much, and of course that can maybe allow Dion Stahl to catch up as well. As Cameron Weston-Edwards tries to go to the inside to break the slipstream from Dennis Kranches, and Jensen Randall has certainly caught up as well. Not a fast lap, 23.3 now for the Brit.
And it's bad news bears for Cameron Weston-Edwards because the two drivers behind him are going to have the DRS advantage next time around. And you see Jensen thinking about trying to make a move on Kranches for the second spot.
Yeah,
Jensen trying to make quick work of everybody.
Yeah, they need to be careful though, because if Jensen now gets caught up too much with Dennis, then of course that could allow Cameron to escape at the front.
Meanwhile, Dion Stahl's made up 0.4 of a second this last lap by on this battle. So we're about to have a 4-car battle for the lead. This is unbelievable driving by these three drivers so far. And as you said earlier, we all know Cameron is a very aggressive defender. He's not going to make life easy for any of these drivers.
Yeah, it certainly isn't. It's going to be interesting to see, but this is such a good chance for Cameron Weston-Edwards to finally break his duck and win his maiden SRL race, because he has been trying it for quite a number of seasons now. But of course it could also be, I think, a maiden win for Dennis, isn't it? If he actually hangs on to win this race.
Win for Dennis as well. We know Dennis has got some speed. He had a couple of pole positions and some podiums to his credit last year, even though he joined really late in the season. But Cameron's a sitting duck at this point. He's basically got 3 cars behind him that all have DRS available to them. Now Cam seems to have that McLaren trimmed out just a little bit because he's got a lot of speed he can carry down that straightaway.
Jensen trying to...
And here comes Jensen Randall.
Oh, just about can't make it.
He thought about it.
Certainly did. It was pretty close with his front wing and the rear wing of Dennis Kranches there. And Dion Stahl now also within a second of Jensen Randall, so pretty much a 4-way fight here for the lead of this race.
Well, Dion is, I think Dion's biding his time a little bit. I think he's trying to stay in that DRS range, but doesn't necessarily want to be nose to gearbox with these three because Dion's a pretty smart driver, and we all know, look, Cam's a very aggressive driver. Jensen's got a history of not finishing a race when he's in this type of position.
Yeah.
And Dennis hasn't been in the league long enough to really go either way. Dennis, he had a bit of bad luck last week with Tim Bentic, but he's got a couple of podiums to his credit, as we've talked about. So Dennis is kind of the wild card because we don't really know how it is with him, but we know Jensen's got bad luck. We know Cam's aggressive, and Dion, I think, is just trying to stick with it but not be in it.
Yeah, I mean, the last time Dion Stahl won a race, I think, must have been back in Season 2, if I remember correctly, maybe in Monza, when Alex Benechetti and myself took each other out from the lead of the race. I think that might have been the last time that Dion Stahl won a race, so yeah, I mean, if he just indeed bites his time there in 4th place and lets these three drivers fight it out with each other, then maybe there could be an opportunity to prevent itself for Dion.
So far, no position change. These guys have been... I don't know if they're sizing each other up. Jensen certainly trying to find a way around Dennis Kranches, but I don't think Jensen wants to try and cost himself. Jensen's target is the win. He doesn't want to just get around Dennis. He wants to get around both. So
that's pretty close
he's
there
all
again.
over the gearbox, and he doesn't want to cause himself any wing damage.
Yeah. But whatever happens here, this is also a good opportunity for Jensen to gain a lot of points on the current championship leader, Andrea Latrella, of course, not being here. So whatever happens, this will blow open the championship quite a lot. Especially for Jensen, of course, who is a championship contender.
And really, and I talked about it a little bit earlier, but it's really, he's putting a staple in the fact that, even though Tim Bentic's the defending champion, Jensen is really trying to appoint himself as the top driver at Mercedes AMG Petronas. And a win today not only would, solidify that with 3 straight podium finishes, but as you said, he would close that points gap. He would pretty much be, I think he's only 20 points behind, so he would take the lead of this, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think it was something like that, yeah. So he's either gonna take over the lead or come very close to the lead of the championship if he can finish on the podium here. Or so maybe even win the race.
Actually been able to gap these guys just a little bit and put a few car lengths in between them. So now it's becoming a pretty solid battle for second place. Dion Stahl's fallen off the pace just a little bit. He's just outside the DRS range. Still trying to hang tough with it. Sandro Dulius has moved his way into the 5th spot, 3 seconds behind his teammate. And good on Max Mulder making his SRL F1 debut. He's in the 6th position.
Yeah.
Robin Herterstegen running in 7th. Foons Van Houten with 8th. Colin Higgins is 9th, and he's had an up and down day and has definitely benefited from the amount of safety cars and DNFs. And then Yannick Verpaten doing what Yannick does. So.
Yeah, I mean he is struggling a little bit in this race, and let's hope that he can maybe find a little bit of pace for the future rounds to have a little bit more, let's say, contact with the rest of the field in terms of having you know, not as much of a gap to the rest of the field.
And now look at this, Cameron Weston Edwards
to the outside. Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I was looking at Jensen who tried to make a move on Dennis.
Jensen trying to make a move, and these two were battling it out. Meanwhile, while these two were battling it out, Cam's been able to gap to a 1.5 seconds, so he's gotten himself away from the DRS threat. And now it's turning into a 3-car battle for the 2nd spot because Dion Stahl's coming back on these guys. So it looks like Dennis Karenchis has maybe stressed his tires a little too much, and he's starting to lose grip, and he's actually holding up Jensen Randall at this point, and that's allowed Dion Stahl to catch up as well.
Yeah, I mean, very good from Cameron Edwards to be able to break the slipstream in the DRS and break out of that 1 second window as Colin Hitchens picks up a 3 second time penalty. And also, I'm pretty impressed with Dion Stahl actually. He's able to keep up with these 3.
Now, the other determining factor here is that time penalties.
Yeah.
I don't know that Jensen has a time penalty to his credit. I know Dennis has one. I know Cam has one. I don't generally keep track of them because I like to be surprised at the end. So even though Cam's going to come across the line more than likely in the top position, doesn't mean he's going to retain that win. So this is going to be close with 2 laps to go. The stress is on, and these guys. I know Dennis Karenchis now is white-knuckling this car trying to stay out in front of Jensen Randall, and Cam is probably praying that Dennis keeps him back there for as long as possible.
Oh,
and
look at that.
Randall's going to try and go to the outside. They bump wheels, and I think Jensen's starting to get a little aggravated. Dion Stahl's now a part of this battle. Meanwhile, Cam is trying everything he can to get past that 3-second gap. Because if Jensen doesn't have a 3-second time penalty, he's still in contention to take the win.
Yes, I think Cameron will really be cheering on Dennis to just defend that position for as much as he can. And it's going to be interesting to see indeed about time penalties. I mean, we saw in Austria with myself, I crossed the line in 7th, but I didn't have any penalties, so I actually ended up getting 3rd. So it could have a very big influence on the race result indeed.
And this would be a big win for Cam. I mean, after last season with the animosity that surrounded Team McLaren for a little while, and then last week after being crashed out by his teammate, not on purpose, but it would definitely be a little bit of redemption for Cam if he can walk away with this final lap. He's got a 3.3 second gap. Dennis Karenchis snaking down the straightaway. Here comes Jensen Randall, almost. And they touch wheels.
Oh man, and Cameron is now out of that 3-second window if he actually ends up having 1 penalty more than Dennis for Jensen. So it looks like we're gonna have a new SRL winner today. It's either gonna be Cameron or Dennis, but
it's gonna be close.
Yeah.
Jensen now 0.2 of a second. Meanwhile, I just want to give a quick shout out to Sandro Dulius, who's made up like a 1.5 seconds in the last couple of laps.
Yeah, he closed up massively. I think a couple laps ago he was 4 seconds behind his teammate. It's not pretty much 1 second.
Last lap, does anybody make a last-ditch effort, a dive bomb to try and take a spot? Again, Jensen Randall to the outside, down this dog-leg backstretch.
Dennis Karenchis.
And now it is 4.2 seconds for Cameron Weston
Edwards. Yeah, surely he's got it. Unless he's got a lot of time penalties.
Unless he's got more than one.
Yeah,
but Cameron Weston Edwards doing everything he can to try and get his maiden win. He's going to come across the line. He's coming out of the last corner now. Does he stay there?
He crosses the line in first position.
He crosses the line in the first position. Can he hold on to it?
He does. No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Jensen
It's
Randall.
Oh, no. Cameron Weston Edwards so close. And Jensen Randall with the win. Unbelievable. And Cameron Weston Edwards can't catch a break.
Oh, that's cruel.
No,
Hard take for Cameron Weston Edwards. I thought he had it. Because I saw Dennis cross the line, I was like, okay, that's it. But then Jensen actually ends up being the one without penalties. Just like in Bahrain when he overtook myself and Tim for the podium. Wow. Oh man, that's cruel and extremist for Cameron. He did everything right apart from the penalties.
And it makes you wonder, that's some heads-up driving by Jensen Randall. I think Randall probably knew maybe there towards the end he didn't look to make any moves that he tried to make a move if he could make it work. He didn't try to force anything, and I think he knew he didn't have to force the issue. So, but you're right, that is cruel. Cameron Weston Edwards with an amazing drive. Unfortunately, due to timing and scoring penalties, he is going to walk away second. Max Mulder is credited with driver of the day. My driver of the day is Cam for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. I mean, he was really strong towards the end, and I mean, Jensen was probably aware of him having penalties, hence why he probably wasn't pushing, and he's 100% at the end, because he.
So Jensen Randall, as we talked about, is now going to be right with Andrea Latrella for the championship battle, and he has just made the staple. He is now the proven A driver at Team Mercedes, and he is fighting for the championship battle. So here's your unofficial results for today's race. Jensen Randall, followed by a heartbroken Cameron Weston Edwards. Dennis Carenchis picked up another podium finish. Dion Stahl with a great run to fourth. Sandro Dulius in fifth. Max Mulder sixth in his SRL debut. Robin Herderstag in seventh. Foons Van Houten is eighth. Colin Higgins is ninth. And Yannick Verpaeten picks up the last points-paying position. 10th through 14th are all DNFs, unfortunately. That's Nick Van Gelder, Jan Holm, Brian Power, and Reese March. Unbelievable race today.
Yeah, top 5 finishing within 5 seconds despite the penalties. And yeah, well done to Jens. I mean, he took the maximum amount of points today with the pole position and the fastest lap and the race win. So that's going to blow the championship wide open. And well done to Cameron for, that drive at the end and for being so close to his maiden win. And yeah, also well done to Max Mulder for pretty solid first race in SRL. And a good job from the two Ferraris as well, because Dion was pretty strong at the end, and also Sandro by closing that gap to his teammate by quite a bit. And in the end, he only finished 4.8 seconds behind Jensen.
So an unbelievable race. Australia never seems to disappoint.
Yeah.
What is this? Recent terms and conditions and naming policy? What the hell is this for?
Oh, it's from RaceNet or something.
Yeah.
Just accept everything. Yeah, that was an interesting race for sure.
I didn't decline. I said okay. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, I think I had it as well before this race. It's a bit weird.
I don't know. It just said I unlinked my account. I don't know what it's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, this game is a bit weird sometimes, and also it was for me because, yeah, I'd never really experienced this before, but it was so off-putting to have, to drive with such a low frame rate. It was even because, the frame rate is one thing, but the force feedback in my wheel felt really glitched as well, so I couldn't really feel the car as well, so yeah, it was very difficult. And I think in the end I got past Jan Holm on the straight just before I crashed, but for some reason, even though I wasn't alongside him, suddenly I sort of got glued to a car or something, and then I just completely got swiped to the wall. So I don't really know what happened there, but yeah, maybe
we got a pretty good look at it on the live stream.
Oh, okay, okay.
So the frame rate aside, I guess you weren't as far in front of him as you thought you were.
Oh yeah, probably, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry to Jan as well, because yeah, he couldn't do much about that, but yeah, it was probably because yeah, because of the frame rate that I maybe thought that I was already clear. But also on the straight, yeah, like I said, my wheel was doing weird things with the force feedback, so it was really sort of wiggling from side to side. Like the curb effects and the bumps and everything were way too aggressive, and also like I couldn't feel when the backhand came loose or something. So it was just completely glitched. Yeah, I've never had it before, so hopefully I won't have it again. But it's a shame because I was really looking forward to this race, and I practiced quite a bit, and also I was pretty alright in qualifying. But I think it was a long time ago since I last started on the front row, so I was really looking forward to that. But yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I had some issues. But yeah, let's hope it won't happen again.
Australia never disappoints here at SRL, and this has been another fantastic race. And guys, check us out in a couple weeks when we do round 4, and don't forget, later in the month of October, we'll be kicking off the new LMP1 series on Gran Turismo Sport, which is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have commentating from Dark Smoka, who is does a lot of stuff for P1RC, and be good to have him commentating in the booth with Sam Brandt during some of the races, so guys, look forward to that. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment to the YouTube channel, and check us out on Instagram. The link is in the description down below, so be sure to check us out for all the news and notes heading into next round, and get caught up with all the previous videos on the YouTube channel. I'm Kamikaze Fox. This has been Nick Van Gelder. Stay smooth, stay fast, stay clean. We'll see you guys at the next round. Oh, man. That sucks. I was really hoping Cam would pull one off for a change.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it was a good race though. Also to you know, I quite actually like it to just watch the race from the commentary position, let's say. But of course, I would have preferred to be part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So now with my thing unlinked, am I able to even do multiplayer anymore?
I think so, because I think I had a similar thing just before I went into this race.
See if I can get into a shitty race real quick. God, I suck at this game. Man, there's like no open lobbies. Everything's like in a race.
Oh.
Oh, there's one for France. That's a shitty track.
Yeah. Well, there's one nice corner, in my opinion, there. The long right, like after, like you've got the Mistral straight, and then the full throttle right, and then the right after that. I really like that corner.
Carousel.
Oh yeah, yeah. I actually really like that corner, but apart from that, I don't really like the track either. Oh man, yeah, I think I can already wave goodbye to any chance I had of winning the championship. Because that was about 1%, and now it's about 0.1%, I think. But it's really looking like an interesting championship now.
We'll see if it continues. I'm surprised Tim didn't make the race. Tim usually doesn't miss a race. So.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't know what happened with Andrea, but that's yeah, that'll definitely it's a long season too. That's what I like about SRL.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but IRL got away from doing like the full calendar. They only do like half a season now.
Yeah, I mean anything can happen with 19 races remaining.
Right? Alright, I'm gonna try and run a race at Brazil. At least I know that track.
Yeah, that's a nice track. What is your favorite track, actually?
I don't know. You know, I mean, I really like Brazil in real life and in the game. I always do well. Like, even on like Gran Turismo, I always do good at Brazil. I like China a lot. I'm actually halfway decent at China.
Oh, okay.
And I like Monza. That's a fun one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My favorite one in real life. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I know France sucks no matter what. I'm just not a fan of that track at all. That's just...
Yeah, I think...
It is such a shadow over its former self, it's sad.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's one track I dislike even more, and that's Sochi on the F1 calendar. I actually prefer Friends over Sochi, to be honest.
What's that?
Russia.
Oh yeah, Sochi sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty weird to spectate an SRL race for a change, because I think, like, ever since I joined an F1 2014, this is like the second or third time I've DNF'd. So.
Let's just say you don't crash a lot, and
yeah, this race.
I mean, I knew you were having problems with the car, well, with the internet all day.
Yeah.
That's chalking up the code masters.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was really weird, especially because it wasn't like the others were lagging on my screen. Like, my own car was just the frame rate was. I think
and like
it was below 10 FPS. I think.
Like the beginning of that race, like when we would watch you, like your frame rate was off. It was very chunky.
Okay, so you could actually see it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can definitely see it. So, and I didn't know if it was like lag on your end or what, but.
Yeah, I mean, I think towards the end, like before I crashed, I started getting a headache from looking at a screen with 10 FPS. It was really annoying, and yeah, very difficult to keep doing like reasonable lap times. But yeah.
Christ, I don't even think I remember how to play this game. I'm so used to commentating and watching. I like never race.
Yeah.
What's up, honey? Is mommy up? Is everything done?
I don't know about dishes though.
You know you need to do dishes. Go do dishes and then you can... of course I run into somebody who didn't go. And I'm disqualified from the session.
Oh, that's great.
So the guy in front of me doesn't go. I tried to drive around him, and I clipped my left rear to his right front, and it spun the car, and I'm disqualified for going backwards at the start.
That sums up his game.
Kiss my ass. Go do the dishes, and then you can do Prodigy.
When Landon finished scores, can he play Minecraft?
As long as he's done everything, make sure he does the trash cans in the kitchen. I'll be up in a minute.